What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Oh, that's weird lighting. Don't like. A little better. You know what I was better before. I'll take it. Don't leave me like that. Anyhow, today I'm just gonna do some simple askReddit readings because some people seem to like just the ones where you can chill out, listen, relax, play some games while I do some fancy reading with my beautiful reading voice. Um, Sailors of Reddit. What's the most unusual thing you've experienced while at sea? When the water is dead flat and the sky is clear at night, it's really possible to get completely disoriented and fall in. You can't tell where the water begins and the sky ends, so you always keep your hand on the lifeline. Wait, hold on. We need ambiance. Now I got some ambiance going. Everything's a little better here. Let me scroll down here so you can actually read that if you want to. So, my grandpa was in the Navy in World War II, and it's this weird it's a weird thing to think like you could just like fall off of the edge of a ship for no reason. But I've kind of heard that's a thing from multiple people who are at sea. Anyhow, let's see. All right, so I was on a run between California and Hawaii, and I was out on a deck doing rounds on deck, equipment checking, oil levels, etc. I saw one of those free fall lifeboats just hanging out in the distance and was like, WTF. I called the bridge. They said a ship accidentally dropped their lifeboat a few years ago, and now it turns up from time to time. Was glad to know no one was on it, but it gave me a brief scare. So, like, shouldn't somebody just, like, kind of go get that so they don't just keep seeing it? Because, like, what if it's not the same one? Isn't that, like, a real danger that it isn't the same one? What if, what if somebody is just stuck on that lifeboat? Oh god, I'm giving myself a nightmare. Oh no. I don't like this. Alright, this thread seems fun based off of the first two biggest responses. So we're gonna go through this one real fast. What hobby is an immediate red flag? The highest rated response is, does anybody on Reddit understand what a hobby is? And the next one is, or a red flag. So the only thing I've learned from this thread is that Redditors don't know what the word hobby means. Pizza is good. As with all these threads, you gotta sort by controversial. I was thinking that everything thus far has been catastrophic character flaws, not a hobby, like stamp collection. I consider that one dull to me, but nothing worse than that. Okay, so yeah, like stamp collecting would be dull. Prank YouTubers would be a red flag. Posting everything on social media, calling yourself an influencer. Why are these at the top if they are hobbies? Thought this thread would be much more interesting. So calling yourself an influencer, wouldn't influencer be like a job title, not a hobby? A prank YouTuber would be the same thing. Posting everything on social media, like doing social media a lot would be a hobby. Who actually knows anyone whose hobby is child beauty pageants? People just list all their default Reddit hate cliches. Um, yeah. Ask ask Reddit what anything is. I hate saying this because I have close friends that are into it, but oftentimes gambling, especially since it's usually a very thin line between hobby and addiction. Would you consider gambling a hobby? Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like once you consider gambling your hobby, that's an addiction. That's like saying smoking's your hobby. Because, like, I feel like if it's like $10 says I don't have an addiction. Nice. Nice. Yeah. No. I feel like if you're gambling so much that you can call it your hobby, you have an addiction. Uh, Cockfighting. Mm, not having a hobby is a no-no for me. I mean, like, what does that even mean to people who don't have a hobby at all? You know, the first two things set this up to be a lot more fun. But lots of gambling in here. Yeah, I don't. You can feel this effect in gambling. Extrinsic reward loops like psychological tools to draw people into their game system. So the desire to have fun is replaced with the desire to get a reward. Yeah, no, I mean, like, yeah, we're just talking about gambling here. I want to see if there's any fun ones through here. Oh my god, collecting nail clippings. I probably said this a million times on this channel, but I used to work with a girl who would have fake nails on, and every time they would fall off, she would just like leave them laying around where we worked. Drive me insane. Oh, so disgusting. Not is a hobby? If collecting a stamp's a hobby, collecting nail clippings a hobby. But if it is a hobby, how would you participate in that hobby besides clipping other people's nails and then keeping them? Oh, there's probably at least somebody on this earth that does that. Oh no, there's probably somebody who works like a beauty salon that does this. Well, I'm disgusted. Oh, hey, look, that thing I said earlier. My older brother once said his hobby is smoking cigarettes. That thing I said. Collecting World War II memorabilia, but only from the German side. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that being a red flag. Yep. This is a response to that one. We went to the Holocaust Museum in DC when I was in 8th grade. Similar experience, just two buses full of 8th graders crying for hours. Nice. What did you expect to happen? In the town I'm from, we have a Holocaust museum, and they talked about taking us there when we were in elementary school. And one of the teachers was like, they just flat out in front of the entire class looked at my teacher and was like, I just think that you haven't thought through the whole process of what you're about to do. And the teacher stopped for a second and was like, yeah, maybe we should not do this. And then we ended up going to the children's museum instead. Yep, that's fair. Making stage TikTok vids, hard cringe. I'm already married, so my wife can't start throwing the red flags when I start doing that here shortly. Bad news, dear. Huffing and attempting to make meth. What about huffing and successfully making meth? Well, that's just called money making, my friend. That's a career choice.
That's called Breaking Bad.
Do what?
That's called Breaking Bad.
It's called Breaking Bad? Well, only if you're a teacher and you do it good.
You also have to have cancer.
And yeah, and you have to have cancer. Smoking weed and making that your personality. Like, I have nothing against weed and have done it myself many times, but I just can't stand the stoners whose whole life revolves around it and act like it's a miracle cure for everything. Um, so yeah, the next person kind of says what I'm thinking here is like, I've generally found that anyone who makes their personality about that one thing is annoying. Be it weed, guns, parenting, working out, sports, Warhammer, you name it. And when they land on a new thing, it's like, oh, here we go again. I think that if anybody has this, is probably me. I think I get like I think it's like I think it has to do with my ADHD, like hyperfixated on something. It's like it's all I focus on for a while. Never been like weed though, so it's like I don't know. But yeah, nah, it's just that like, well, this is my entire life. This is who I am. But I do this for years and years and years, and it's all I talk about for years and years and years. And my entire house is decorated in it, and I wear the shirts and clothes of it for every single day of my life. And it's me as a person, and that gets even worse when it's like not weed, but like Nazi memorabilia, or that person whose whole life is so revolved around politics that they have to have like you know like the Confederate flag hanging in their yard, or like 1,500 flags for whatever politician they love in their house. It's like you're just you're not living life anymore. You're just experiencing one aspect of being a human now. And it's kind of sad. I guess I don't take it to that extreme. I mean, I definitely don't take it to that extreme. Sometimes I hyperfixate on things, but I don't do that. But like, man, no, I've seen those people. I have seen those people. Here's a fact I'm going to tell you. If you have more than one flag for anything outside of your house, or a flag outside of your house for anything, and then have it inside of your house, I probably don't like you as a person. Just saying that out loud. Sorry for anybody I offended there. How do you respond when a girl calls you daddy in bed? True story. Back in the day, an acquaintance had his girl bent over and said, "Who's your daddy?" She responded with her actual dad's name. You just truck the little champ in and then read her a bedtime story afterwards. No. Are you for or against circumcision? How come? You phrased the question wrong. Should be foreskin or against it. It's just so cringe. I hate Reddit so much. Just cut to the chase and get to the topic. You got skin in the game, huh? Let's get to the tip of the issue. Stop. No. Reddit, why? Alright, which fetish is an immediate red flag? Anything to do with death. That is a solid umbrella. That is a fair umbrella, just to throw everything under. Yeah, so I was gonna say cannibalism, this is a better umbrella. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. I'm gonna scroll through this one though. Which fetish is an immediate red flag? This is very accurate. Anything where it's weirdly coincidental with something in their real life. Like if someone who works at a school is into teacher-student roleplay, or if an anesthesiologist is super into limp bodies. Yeah, that's weird. Like if you're really into roleplay, that would have to do with your like actual job. Like it's clear you're fantasizing about it at work. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely anyone who tries to get news through their username. Send tits and cats. Mm-hmm. And then there's just a bunch of responses by people whose username is different versions of sin nudes. Reddit's a horrible place. Never go there. People who fetishize anorexia and starving someone. Like I feel like that's just like pop culture nowadays. I realize as a fat guy, maybe I don't have room to talk, but like also, like there is a lot of body dysmorphia going around and like propping up super unhealthy body types that we are not talking about in unhealthy ways. But yeah, no, I mean like I guess there probably is like a fetish for people who want to see like the rib cage and like bones of oh no. No, no, no. That's nauseating to even think about. Those poor souls. I heard amputation was a thing. I don't know, it's pretty creepy, not gonna lie. Frankly, I'm stumped by this. I hate Reddit so much. What made you realize that most people aren't smart? Working in a call center. Um, man, having worked on people's computers in like a repair shop, the level of just absolute stupidity people have is mind blowing. And it's I guess it's ignorance. Just I don't understand the basic concepts of how the technology I own and use every day works. It is, and I'm not just talking about old people. I mean, I'm talking about like across the board. Like you hear the joke of like, "Did you unplug and plug it back in?" A lot of the times when people ask that, it's to make sure that it was plugged in the first place. Because like people, the number of people that came in with a broken Xbox that said to me, "It won't turn on," and I plugged it in and it turned on immediately, and they went, "I don't know what was wrong with it. It didn't work for like 3 weeks straight." And I was like, "Did you ever like check anything in the back to see if it was like unplugged or something, and there's like, no, I never thought to. That happened every day. That happened every day. The dumbest person I ever encountered was early in my career. I was towards the end of our shifts, and this woman calls me up and asks if my computer was full. I had no clue what she was talking about. She told me the last agent had told her that he couldn't take any more orders because his computer was full. Obviously not wanting to take the call because he wanted to get off on time. I didn't have the heart to tell her, so I just said, oh, mine still has some room. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm pretty positive I could have told somebody their computer runs on magic fairy dust, and they would have just went, yeah, no, that makes sense. People just don't have any idea. They really don't. I mean, if you're somebody out there who's going, I know how my computer runs, I promise you that you are well above average then. Or you have a false sense of grandeur. I don't know what else to say. Like, it's incredible how people just don't have any clue. Or their phones, or their tablets, or just, I mean, it is, or the misdirection. The people who think things work one way and they just have no idea how they work, or what's inside of them, or, oh my, or how little things are inside of some things. It is incredible, the lack of information out there. In a day and age where Google and YouTube exist. All right, so this one's true. This is a true fact that I already knew. So in the 80s, A&W chain introduced the third-pound burger to compete with McDonald's quarter pounder. It failed in the U.S. Specifically, it failed in the U.S. Because people thought it was smaller because 1/3 is smaller than 1/4. And if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, because 1/3 smaller than 1/4, you need to go back to learning about fractions. But yeah, A&W chain introduced a third pound burger, and it failed because people thought that it was smaller than the quarter pounder. That is so silly. Man, A&W root beer is so good too. So unfortunate. I don't think I ever had the food there. I remember there being a restaurant someplace. I wonder if it still exists. Well, now I gotta find out. All right, so there is a couple near me, and I need to go there, and I need to eat this. And I'm still wondering how many people are watching this video thinking that a third-pound burger is smaller than a quarter pounder, and kind of laughing on the inside about that too. So, you know, there's that. Simplest answer win here. COVID. Yeah, this is when we watched people do the most stupid things in pandemic movies. We used to be like, that'll never happen. Now we're like, yep, no, that's what happens. That is accurate. Yep. Anyhow, guys, thanks for joining me for some our askReddit reading. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe something, comment, and like, comment, subscribe. Comment some things about your opinions on things, maybe some questions that you would ask, or an idea for the next video for me to make. I would love that, because sometimes my ADHD takes me down a million different roads, but none of them are worthy of videos. Appreciate you guys being here. Much love. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.